Hey, so today's lesson will help us answer our aim for today. And the aim for today is, why do we have social studies? We will be answering this question by defining social studies. So in this video, we will look at some vocabulary to help us define social studies, and I will show you how to complete a Frayer model worksheet in Google Classroom. So first off, let's go to the vocabulary. The first vocabulary word for today is social. Social is when multiple people interact. Once again, social is when multiple people interact. So multiple means more than one. And interact is when two people or two things do something together. So when people interact, it can look like talking, it can look like texting, it can look like fighting. What is another example of two people interacting? All right, one last time. Social is when multiple people interact. The next word we're defining is study. Study is when you find information to learn more about something. So, for example, if I wanted to study math, I would find information to help me learn more about math. What is something we study in school? All right. Now, this is the big moment for this class. We are going to define social studies. But before I give you my definition, I want to see you come up with your own. So the question is, based on the definitions above, the definitions of social and study, write your own definition of social studies. So once again, take the two definitions above for social and study and see if you can put them together to get a definition for social studies. All right. Listen, as long as you put in some time and some thought, your answer will be good and get credit, but here's the definition I use. Social studies is learning about how people act with other people. Now, we're going to use a tool called the Frayer model to help us get a little more familiar with our definitions. Every Frayer model has 5 parts. First, you have the word being defined, which will be written either in the middle or at the top right-hand corner. A definition, a picture of what the word is, some examples, and some non-examples of the word. Because we are doing distance learning, you are going to be creating your Frayer models in Google Classroom. I'm going to show you how to get to that now. So you can start off at your mailbox, click Mr. Caban's tic-tac-toe board up here, and click into Classroom. Choose your class. For this example, I put the student in 003. If that's not your class, just click on your class. So click over to classwork, and under this week, you will see a Frayer model. Click on that. You'll see the instructions. Use the Frayer model to define social. I will define social in this example. When you do it for real, you will be defining social studies. So you can't just copy my answers. You need to come up with your own. I'm going to hit View Assignment here. You can see your personal copy of this digital worksheet right up here. If you are on a computer, if you're on an iPad, you might see it down by the bottom here, but it will always be above the Turn In button. Click on your personal copy now. Whenever you are making your own worksheet, the first thing you need to do is put your name first and last on it, and you do that by highlighting this and replacing it. So you highlight it so it's all blue, and then you type in your first and last name. If you don't know how to highlight it to replace it, that's fine. What you can do, and I'll show you how to do it for the date, which is the next thing you put in, you just delete it and put in the new date. And finally, you need to tell me what grade you're in. I'm going to put this as an 8th grader, but whatever grade you're in, that's the grade you put. Now, like we said, every Frayer model has a couple parts. The first is the word you're defining, in this case, social. The next is the definition. In this case, the definition is when multiple people interact. When I assign you a Frayer model worksheet, I will always give you the definition. The second box to fill in is illustration. To find an illustration, since we're not in class and we can't draw it personally, I am okay with you going to Google Images and choosing a picture from there. So I'm going to go to Google, type in social. Make sure you spell it right first, but that's the good thing about spell check. Click on images and go through to find one I like for social. All of these are pretty good, but I think I'm going to go with this one, and I'll tell you why. This one shows two ways to be social. It shows these two talking in the same room, but it also shows this guy on the computer talking to other people. So I am going to right-click, copy the image, go back to my assignment, and I can either left-click to hit paste here, or I can do Control V. So hit the Control and the V buttons. I like Control V because it's fast, but the left click and paste works as well. So after you put in your illustration, you need to give 3 examples, at least 3. I'll give you extra credit if you put a little more. So my examples of where people are social, when multiple people, so when more than one person interacts, when they act with each other. I'm going to put parties, Instagram, people talk and send pictures and stuff there, so that counts as social because they're interacting. And I'm going to put school because people interact at school. Even when we're not here in person, we talk in the chat, so that definitely counts. Non-examples. These are a little harder. I'm going to put staying home, alone, because then you're only one person, but if there's another person in your home, it's social because that's multiple. And I will also put rocks, chairs, and other non-living things. Gotta spell it right though. They cannot be social because they aren't people and they can't interact with each other. But yeah, I think that's good enough. I only need the 2 examples. Good. So now that I've got all this done, double check I got my name, my date, and my class. I can go back to the assignment sheet and I can hit turn in. Sorry, someone's phone just rang over here, but all you gotta do is hit turn in, and it gets sent over to me to grade. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you for your time.